Go ahead.
Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with our children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here with us this evening, and welcome, Reverend Sue.
Yes, we're so grateful that you're here with us. We're so grateful to have Reverend Sue with us. And I am also thrilled that she's going to be talking about her new book series, which is just so beautiful and inspired by the angels. And I'm going to read a short bio so that you all know a little bit more about her in case you don't, which I think everybody knows about Reverend Sue, since she's been at our conferences and she's someone that helps us so much. Reverend Sue Frederick is a lifelong intuitive, ordained unity minister, master numerologist, and spiritual coach. She is the author of Angel Up, The Angel's Guide to Ascension, the Sacred Numerology Workbook, which I know that all of you have been able to work on with us in different meetings. I See Your Dream Job, and Through a Divine Lens, also a beautiful book. Her work is informed by three powerful shared death experiences and numerous out-of-body journeys and visions. Sue has been featured in the New York Times, in CNN.com, and Yoga Journal, and has helped thousands worldwide connect to their angels, departed loved ones, and divine soul missions. Her work blends mystical insight with grounded spiritual tools. You can find out more about her at www.suefrederick.com. I'll put that in the chat box. And without further ado, please join me and Irene in welcoming the beautiful Reverend Sue Frederick. Welcome, Sue.
Well, it is my greatest honor to even be a tiny bit connected to you, Elizabeth, and this beautiful work that you and Irene and all of you are doing through Helping Parents Heal. It is the brightest light, and I know I'm prejudiced, but I know that HPH is doing the brightest light work in the
Can
world.
I interrupt you just 1 second? She's
Yes.
also an honorary board member of Helping Parents Heal, which wasn't in her in her bio, but I should have said that. So we're thrilled to have her as an honorary board member. So keep going. I'm sorry.
So, all of you are accelerated, beautiful souls. And the reason I know this is because part of your experience here in this lifetime has been having a beautiful child, an angel child, cross into the heavenly realms while you stayed here. And so all of you already know that angels are real because you know that they are with your children now, that your children are angels at times when they want to appear that way. Other times they appear in their own personalities and identities. They are working from the heavenly realms to help all of humanity. And you also know that in your darkest moments, the angels are always around you, trying to heal you and help you and make you feel loved and lifted. And humans become cynical here on earth. I know that's no surprise to anybody who's human, but becoming cynical and very logical and left-brained is kind of what happens to us as we move through our earth life. And yet when we come in, we have pure connection to the angels, to the God source, to our departeds, to our guides. And as we get more cynical, sometimes the angels are the only divine beings who can sort of get through to us because they are the most accessible for humanity. And if you've ever just been having a really hard time or maybe grieving and crying, and you suddenly feel this loving presence that feels just like pure energy, pure light, that is the angelic realm coming to you and saying, here, let us hold you in love. And the great blessing of being human is that we are never alone. You all know that your departed, beautiful children are with you all the time, but so are these angels. And the way you feel the difference is your child will bring their personality. I was talking last night in the angelic ministry class about this, and Amber was saying, I want to make sure that Jagger is going to have his personality because Jagger is so funny and so smart. And we were like, well, yes, he does, because when he comes through to any of us, it makes us laugh right away. And yet the angels come in with a little different frequency of energy. It's more like feeling a blanket of love. Gosh, I even feel it as I say these words. It's more like feeling someone has just wrapped a blanket of heavenly love around you. That is the angelic realm. And the angelic realm knows how hard it is to be here in an earth lifetime. They are very aware of that. And they have one job. They come from the highest source, right by the seat of the God consciousness, pure unconditional love. And they come to earth with that frequency of pure unconditional love for the one purpose of comforting, supporting, loving, and healing humans in our very difficult earth journeys. So you can say they're messengers of divine love. Absolutely. You can say they are beings of light. Absolutely. And they have one message to us. You are deeply loved. You are a being of light, just like the angels. Never doubt it. Never fear that you are less than. Never feel that you are unworthy of love. You are a divine being filled with angelic love and light. So, because I'm a unity minister, when I went through ministry school, we studied a lot of the angel stories in the Bible. And unity has a little different interpretations than the way maybe some of the traditional religions do. But I love how they see it. So, for example, many of you might know the Matthew 28 verse, where the stone, the angel, let me back up. The women who loved Jesus were going to visit Jesus in his tomb the day after he was crucified. And I think it's such a beautiful biblical passage because, of course, it would be the women who would go to be at the tomb with Jesus. And an angel was there on the tomb, and the angel moved a stone aside and said to them, Jesus is not here. He has ascended. And what that is a teaching, a metaphor for us is that there is no stone of death to get in the way of our communication with eternal spirit, with your children, that angel eliminated any possible belief that Jesus's body would be in that tomb because he was quote unquote dead. We all know that spirit is eternal. So of course the angels would be the one to vanish that stone. And another thing we talked about last night in my ministry class was angelic ministry class is that we have these 7 stones that all humans experience at some point in our lifetimes. And those, of course, the first one is grief, something all of you are very familiar with. And when we allow the angels to come into our heart and lift us up from our pain, they banish that stone of the heavy weight of grief for us. And sometimes it's the only way to banish it. We can go to therapy, we can do so many different things. We can even go and have our own communication with our departed. But that stone of heaviness and loss that is grief can be banished the minute we say, beautiful angels, make me feel your love, help me feel your presence, lift me, love me, help me, and heal me. They're right here now, and they are lifting up your heavy heart whenever you are grieving. So this is one of the reasons why in spiritual practices of every tradition, teachers talk about quieting the mind and opening the heart, because we have been taught here to trust our mind more than we trust our heart. And we are taught that logic is more important than intuitive knowingness. But then we go through a grief experience and we realize, well, that is not right. The heart leads the way. The heart tells us the truth. And the mind often misleads us because the mind has one job, and that is to keep us alive on earth. So, of course, it's going to point out all the dangers, tell us to be safe and cynical, and it's doing its job that way. However, our heart is going, I need love and comfort. Angels, come wrap your love and joy and healing presence around me so that I know you are with me. That comes from your heart, and your heart then instantly feels opened, no matter what pain you're in. So we meditate, we quiet the mind, we open the heart, and the angels say to you, you are loved, you are never alone, you have a divine, sacred mission of love on earth. And yes, I know that we are all living in hard times right now. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of division, but none of that behavior on earth is who we really are. And you can think of the angels as being so aware of when we humans get locked down in our fear, when we get locked down in our idea that we're separate from each other. The angels are the first responders who come and whisper to us and go, no, you are wrapped in love. Your light is greater than any darkness. Many of you remember the story I've told about my background here on Zoom, that in 2014, I was sick. I left my body, and the angels held me all night in so much love and showed me the earth from a distance, planet Earth, and they showed me beams of light shooting up into the sky and illuminating all the darkness and moving that light around the earth, filling in any of the dark places. And their message was, the light is always winning, and love wins over fear, and you are light. Every time you open your heart, your light is greater than any darkness, and it shoots out into the universe and helps and heals and awakens others who might be suffering or afraid. What a beautiful job you have. And it's so easy when we look at it that way, that we just need to feel that love, that support. And now the heart is open and the light shines from us to others. Now, the other thing is, you all know that I always talk that we have two parts of us here, and so none of us are ever going to be filled with love and light 24/7. I mean, we are filled with it, but we aren't aware of it 24/7. So what that means is you're going to have your human emotions, you're going to have your pain, you're going to have your hard days, you're going to have days where you feel separate from others. That is the human experience that we all share. And yet, the minute we call in for angelic support, ask to be held in love, ask to be shown the light, that emotion, that heavy emotion from the earth realm, it's like the stone is banished from us. We are lifted up, and we are lifted up into that higher frequency where we see it all from a distance, and we remember that yes, the light always wins, love always wins, and I am part of that light, and I am part of that love. So angels are not just these beings who live in Bible stories or have wings and swords. They are actually beings of pure, unconditional love and light that come straight to you from the God source. No matter what you're struggling with, no matter how you doubt yourself, no matter how big your grief is, they are your divine spark. And when you pray, when you forgive, when you act with compassion, when you seek that higher understanding of whatever problem you're facing, you become the angel. And this is what is so beautiful that the angels are saying all the time. And they poured those 3 Angel Up books through me, saying, humans are now being asked to help shift the frequency on earth by remembering that we are all capable of being angelic beings while we walk on the earth, which means bringing that compassion, bringing that kindness. You know, when there's suffering on earth, we aren't the ones who avoid talking to that person. We bring love and kindness and light to them, and we become the angelic ministers. And you guys were here last week when we did that angelic ministry meditation for Texas. You know, this is a quantum field universe, which means the energy we direct anywhere, whether it's to another person or to a town or a state or a country, if it's upset energy, then those beings feel that energy. We are energy and not matter, which means if I send loving, supportive, healing energy to a town that's been devastated by flood and loss, I am helping the frequency be at a higher state there, which helps everyone who is suffering there. That's your role as an angelic minister. And I wanted to share quickly just a personal story about angels in my life. And they've been showing up for me my whole life. But I'll honestly say, I didn't quite recognize who they were until, you know, pretty recently. Like I would have a miracle happen that would save my life on a rock climbing trip in the 70s. And I wouldn't quite put it together that that was an angelic act saying, hey, it's not your time yet. You need to stay. And then I would have other experiences when Paul crossed that now I look back and realize, oh, wow. In fact, there's one angel story I'll tell you really quickly about Paul. When Paul crossed, you know, we were so young and so in love. And the first night that I was in bed after he had died, this being of light, which I totally see now as the most beautiful angel, illuminated the room, and Paul was laying in bed next to me. I could feel his legs with me. I would always kid him that he had fuzzy legs, and I loved the feeling of his fuzzy legs, you know. And I felt his legs with me, and I felt his love, and he was kissing me. And then this being of light made it clear in a very gentle way that Paul, in that moment, needed to keep moving on. And I say that to all of you not to make you think your beloved isn't with you, but at the moment they cross over, they're always going to come to you, wrap themselves around you and be with you. But the angels are going to make sure that they also do their soul review and are brought to the higher heavenly realms, and at the same time are able to be with you and love you. And that's the angel's job. That's one of the things they do for us. The other thing is in 2023, I believe, I was doing a session in my bedroom, my computer in front of me, and an angel appeared on the wall. And I've never seen anything like it before or since. It was the outline of an angelic being. And in that moment, I was pretty shocked and surprised and not sure what to do. And I realized, well, I can talk to it intuitively. And I said, "Who are you?" And this being, this angelic being said, "I am your mother in the angelic realm." That we have mothers in the angelic realm. We have family members in the angelic realm, which really helps us if we feel that our family of origin doesn't understand us or isn't able to love us. You have a family in the angelic realm who adores you, who shows up to help you whenever you're in trouble. And they come to us in dreams and symbols and messages and all kinds of signs, numbers, just like our departed loved ones do. It's just that we feel a little different frequency, whether it's our beloved departed child or the angelic beings don't carry that personality the way our children do or our loved ones do. So when this angel appeared in my room, I kind of started writing and connecting with the angels more than ever before. And then I went through that cancer diagnosis in 2024, a year ago. And the angels were with me every step of that, showing me that they could comfort me no matter when I was suffering or in pain, wrapping me in love and lifting me above the really hard moments of it. So I look back at that whole cancer experience, and, there were a few times when it was painful, but for the most part, I was lifted above all of that, lifted above the fear by the angelic beings. And then also by Paul making me laugh, my departed husband and my dad coming in to joke with me and say things, like, "Let the doctor do the doctor's job." That would be so much like what my dad would say. So they came too. But those angels were so powerful. So you have angels, you have them appearing to you, you have them helping you and lifting you up. But one thing I've also learned is that they can't interfere. And I think you all know this, that when we work with spirit or the God source or guides, we can't say, we can't just be headed in one direction and they come along and move us in a different direction, because free will is one of the principles of the earth realm. But free will mingles or commingles with destiny and light and love and all the higher principles. So when each of us humans is in our free will choice that we're going to be maybe angry or stubborn or not growing, not looking for an answer, the angels lovingly surround us, but they can't like just change our focus for us. We have to say, "Help me, show me a different way, show me the truth in this lesson that I'm facing, and help me embrace it." And that little tiny request, 2 sentences maybe, they're like, "Oh, yes, she's ready to grow. She's ready to heal." And they're able to just really, literally lift you up and point you in a new direction in your life. And that can be with career, that can be with healing relationships, with so many pieces that you might be working with. So, to close, I just want to say that for your everyday practice of angeling up, just start each day with this simple statement, "Angels of light, open my heart, help me feel loved, lift me above my human view." Just anything simple. "Angels, help me, heal me, lift me, love me." That starts your day off with light, with love, and with support. And then whenever you can find your 10 minutes to sit in the stillness or the silence, or meditate with mantra or prayer, however it works for you, quieting that human mind of cynicism, opens your heart, and now you're in pure connection and conversation with spirit, with God, with your departed child, and with the angels. So the third one is our actions and our words are important. And the more we act with love and we choose love over fear in our decisions and our behaviors, now we are aligning ourselves with that angelic frequency. And when we are in that frequency, all we feel is forgiveness, love, compassion, and unconditional love. This is your birthright as a human, and it's really hard on the earth realm, and it's harder now than ever, perhaps. And in numerology, we talk about it as being the nine universal year, the ending of things that we've counted on. And yet, beyond all of that frequency is the angelic realm going, we're here to love you. We're here to help you. We're here to comfort you. Don't worry about all that other stuff. Accept us as being with you, and we will open every door for you. We will move you through whatever pain you're struggling with. And that's the angels, and that's how we angel up. And I'm happy to take questions or stories of your own angels.
I was going to start out first. Sue, first of all, I just want to tell you that I love these books. Obviously, they are downloaded from source, and I think that it's so interesting that you've written these angel books because I'm sure a lot of us have attended Dr. Linda Bachman and you speaking together, and during those presentations, it's always exciting to try to determine what type of soul our children are. And so, from what I understand, there are three different types of souls. So there's souls who are earth-based souls, and they've been here forever. They learn more each time that they come back. There are souls who are from the interplanetary realms, and then there are souls from the angelic realms. And Linda has confirmed that you are definitely from the angelic realms. Could you tell everyone here a little bit more about those three types of souls so that they can kind of identify those types of souls with their children, and
Yeah.
then let us
And
know a little bit about
I
them?
also just recently found this video on, I think it was YouTube, by Dolores Cannon, who some of you may know about. She was born in the 30s and was teaching reincarnation and, where do souls come from and why do souls come to Earth? And she crossed many decades ago. But when you find her videos, it's just amazing. She was teaching the same thing, and she said, Earth started to get into trouble, especially when the nuclear bomb was dropped. And so the higher beings can't interfere. And they called on the volunteers. And that there had been mostly earth-based souls here. And those earth-based souls were souls who incarnated many, many times on Earth, very comfortable on Earth, very competent, and sort of also getting stuck in a pattern of thinking perhaps more warlike than we need to be here. And when the call went out for volunteers to come and shine the light from the inside here in the Earth realm, we had the souls from other galaxies, the galaxies that are more advanced than ours, who believe in helping each other and not trying to destroy each other. And so they came and they learned very quickly, wow, things are different here, and it's hard to really understand how to function here. And I know that some of your children, because I've worked with you, were these amazing beings from other galaxies who just thought differently and lived differently and really couldn't play the ordinary role, that somebody who's incarnated here a million times plays. And yet their early exit was part of the plan of waking us all up to the truth that we are here to love one another and that that's what matters. And then some of us came from the angelic realm, and the way Dolores described it in this video, she said, some of these souls had never come to earth, and they were completely ungrounded. And they came to earth and they were like, oh, wait, I have to go to school. Oh, wait, I have to make a living. And they just, again, just like the IP souls, it's like, well, wait a minute, I'm not sure how to do this or if I can stay. And many of your children, I also know from working with you, are angelic souls who perhaps had never gotten down in the mucky muck of the earth world. And they were, okay, mom, this is my exit. They didn't say that consciously, but they said it in their soul. I can't stay here. My frequency is so different. And I'll also share that back in the 50s, when I was born, it was easier for souls who were different to assimilate and stay. And now, because consciousness has sped up so much and there's so much light and dark, so much conflict, perhaps, it is much harder for these advanced souls to stick around. So they have a contract that says they can leave at a certain point, and that early exit will wake up the community, the family, and eventually the world at large.
That's a beautiful answer. And I just want to say that it's always so much fun to be able to hear Reverend Sue talk about the angelic realms, about all of these different other children as well, who are equally important and who have roles in what we're doing here on Earth. Which is one of the most difficult places in the universe to be learning, which is what all of
Absolutely.
us are learning right now. But we have several questions. Susan is saying, I understand we all have individual guides. Are the angels also assigned to us, or are all angels there for us equally?
So you'll hear and read different people teaching different things about that. And what I have heard is that, and what the angels have told me, is that when we say, okay, I'll go to Earth, then first our guide helps us create the soul plan, the life plan, and makes that agreement with our soul posse about the things we're going to have to bump up against in order to evolve and awaken ourselves and awaken others. So the guide plays that kind of counselor role. But then when we go, okay, I'm going in, nobody is allowed to leave the higher realms without a group of angelic beings around them, because this is a loving universe of divine order. So as we're born, that's why when you're at a birth experience where someone's being born, you feel this exalted energy in the room. Not only is the baby bringing in this pure, higher frequency, but the team of angels that are going to be with that child are coming into the room as well. And we feel that. That's why people just cry and go crazy over babies, because the angels are with them from the moment they're here. And actually, they're with them in the womb as well. So our souls have a team. But yes, there are also these iconic angels that, we kind of know through time and history, and many people find a lot of comfort in the Archangel Michael, Gabriel, etc. So I do think if that's how you connect, go for that. Use those prayers. They're in my book, even some prayers to say to those various archangels. And certainly growing up Catholic, those archangels were in all of my Catholic prayers. But the other thing is, you don't even have to complicate it by wondering which angel you need to pray to or who's with you. They are as present with you as the air you're breathing here. And you're never, ever alone. And once we embrace that truth, it really does change everything.
Beautiful answer. And I'm kind of sad by the question that Donna has asked because of it. I was wondering if you could maybe reassure her. What if you feel undeserving of anyone's help?
Oh, baby girl, let me just hug you energetically. This is why the angels are so important to understand. they have no judgment of us, and the God source has no judgment of us. The God source is simply the source of unconditional love that rules this universe of light. You are never judged. We are each learning exactly what we need to learn here. And so the overarching feeling is that you are, of course, worthy of love. You are a divine being. You're a being of light. You may have come from the angelic realm, and that might be why you feel you don't fit. But there is no such thing as an unworthy soul on earth. And when we learn from our mistakes, saying, wow, I could have been kinder, I could have been this or that. That's exactly what we're supposed to be doing here, but not in a way that punishes ourselves or makes us feel we have to hide out and be unworthy. Instead, in a way of going, we are all here learning and doing the best we can, and we are all in this journey of awakening together.
Beautiful. Yes, exactly. We're all in this together, and we have a lot of help that we didn't even know about for a very long time for most of us. And it's helping us move forward and helping us to learn how to help others as well. Dawn is saying, I had a reading recently, and my daughter and husband came through. My daughter mentioned Michael, and the medium asked if she's referring to to Archangel Michael, which I found interesting because I prayed to him and others daily. Then a few days ago, I was looking at the clouds because my daughter sends me heart-shaped clouds often. There was a large M with a heart next to it in the sky. It was amazing, and I felt like it was my daughter and or Archangel Michael who were
Oh.
letting me know that they were there. Does that seem plausible?
Together, yes, they were together giving you that message. We don't need to compartmentalize like who did that sign come from. If it comes with love and if it is recognized in some way as being connected with your beloved, then it's both. The angels are bringing you that love. Your departed is there saying, don't you recognize this M, Mom?
And the angel is probably helping her to create
Right.
those beautiful cloud formations,
That's
right?
it.
Um, Debbie is asking, are the advanced souls considered old souls?
Well, that's a tricky question because advanced souls can come from the higher realms, but never have lived here before on Earth. Whereas there can be souls who've incarnated thousands of times on Earth, but are stuck perhaps in a negative pattern and can't figure out how to change it or something. And so when we say, are you an old soul? I think I'd rather use the word, you're an awakened soul, and we can awaken in our first lifetime here. We can awaken after 1,000 lifetimes here, or we can awaken when we get here and realize this is not for me and make an early exit. All of it is an awakening.
Beautiful. Thank you. Um, Sophie is saying, when my son Syriac transitioned, I heard the angels singing. The day before, he saw a light. Have you heard of this kind of thing happening before?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked that. I don't really talk about this a lot, but I hear angels singing. And I'll sometimes think, do I have music on somewhere? Where is that? But when we're quieting the mind, we can hear the sweet, loving voices of the angelic realm. And they often sing in these, it's not even music like you would ever hear on earth. It is indescribable in human words. When you're really quieting the mind and opening the heart, yes, you can hear the angels and you can even hear their voices talking to you. This is the reason that the angels told me to write these books. When they got to the third one, they said, you have to write the journal. I was like, well, what do you mean write the journal? Like, how is that going to help people? And they said, 33, it's 33 days of someone asking the angels for an answer about something in their life. And then writing whatever they're feeling or receiving or hearing come to them. And so that's why the journal, the 33 days of angelic wisdom, if any of us go through that 33-day program, and I'm going to teach a class in it pretty soon, there's no way that by the end of 33 days, you doubt your connection to the angelic realm. You'll be hearing them day and night. You'll be feeling them singing, loving on you. And if you've got to pick some divine beings to be aware of all the time, let's go with the angels because they're so accessible and so sweet and so kind.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And Pamela is saying, do the angels do things like leave things such as large white feathers? One fell out of nowhere in my path literally days before my son passed. I only realized someone was trying to communicate with me days after that this had happened. So this was, she realized after he had transitioned that she thinks
Right.
that someone was trying to
Yeah.
communicate with her. Is
Just to
that
lift,
possible?
the angels want us, when they know that a hard moment of our life plan is coming, they will be doing everything they can to help us start lifting our focus to the higher realms and not be so focused on the details of earth life. And they'll give us signs and feathers and birds and clouds and all kinds of things to get us to ponder the deeper, higher essence of this life and not just be locked down in the physical reality of this life.
Beautiful. I was going to ask you, um, you've had three shared death experiences. Could you tell us a little bit about those shared death experiences and explain how it gave you a greater understanding about the angels that are around us?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I told my class this last night, but I haven't really talked about it much. Yes, Sunday, July 13th, was the 45th anniversary of Paul's crossing. And the reason that's so important to me is I look at it as the 45th anniversary of my awakening. And all of you moms know that might not be something that's easy at first or fun, but when we look back at it, we go, everything changed on that day because then I began to understand there's more to this life than the physical world. That is the gift of crossing. And when Paul, well, even this July 13th, this Sunday, he was so with me and giving me lessons. I always say he comes back to teach me and make sure I'm getting things right. I must be really stubborn because he keeps feeling that he always has to come back and give me another class in something. But on Sunday, he was showing me memories of, the thing that would happen right after he crossed. That was a sign that divine order always rules. And he was making it so clear in my shared death experience, lifting me up, showing me the divine order chords that connect all things here on earth and all souls, and that we are always connected, we are all part of each other, and that there's a divine order. That means there are no mistakes. We don't make mistakes here. We are following and in the flow of divine order, even if that looks like we're doing something badly or we're in the darkness. It's not an accident. It is part of our journey, and there are no mistakes. It is all part of the divine order of collective awakening. And when Paul came back Sunday to remind me of that, that it was the core message he gave me when he crossed, I felt like it was important for now, for today, because I know so many of us might be concerned about things we see going on in the world, and we might want to say, oh, that's terrible. It shouldn't be happening. It's a mistake. No, it is actually part of the play of light and dark that we are all meant to be experiencing as part of our awakening right now. And I love to talk about Shakespeare because I've loved Shakespeare since I was a teenager. And Shakespeare is believed to have been an enlightened 33 soul who was trying to teach us in his plays that there will be players who come to Earth as bad players and players who come to Earth as the hero, the good player, and that they'll have to interact. But at the end of most Shakespeare plays, there is beautiful forgiveness and love, and you're standing watching this play out on the stage in front of you. And if they're true to how that play ends, it ends with a forgiveness, a compassion, and a love, which is how it is for us when we leave the earth life and we meet with our posse and meet with all of our divine beings that we've interacted with here on earth. And we remember there's only love. I only love these people, no matter how things may have played out on earth.
Beautiful. Yes, our soul posse. Sherry is asking, Reverend Sue, can you share how angels can step in to protect us from danger? As a child, I felt lifted back from a speeding motorcycle, yet no one was behind me. Thank you.
Yes, I mean, these kinds of things happen all the time. And, something I talk about a lot in our books, and you all know this, is if it's not our soul exit point, which has already been predetermined, we will not die. And I mean, back when I was a rock climber in the 70s, and I think about all the stupid things I did when I just thought I could handle a certain climb and it was way over my head, but I was so positive and courageous and would actually, make a climbing mistake that should have killed me. And instead, my rope would get wrapped around an outcropping and I wouldn't get hurt. And it's not because good people are saved or any of that nonsense. It's because if it is not your exit point and you agreed to stay longer and get some stuff done, then nothing's going to take you out. And I even look at this Texas tragedy that we've all been watching. And, there were 70-year-old people who floated down that river for 12 miles, getting banged up by rocks and trees and everything, and somehow were rescued and are okay. And I look at that and I think, it is really about what our soul has agreed to go through here to learn. And then when our exit point hits, it's going to happen. And many of your children, we've talked about this too, that some of you may have been troubled by how your child crossed, but their exit point was here. And if it wouldn't have been that way, it would have been a different way in that same time period.
Exactly. So there are um, there are no mistakes in everything that happens. And I think that once we just allow ourselves to know that our kids are happy, healthy, and home, we're still in school. They've graduated. They did everything they needed to be able to get to the other
Right.
side. We're still in school and we have lots of work to do, but if we also think about it as such a blip in the scheme of things,
It is.
being here, and not only that, but our kids are with us every step of the way. Um, Maria is asking, are angels and higher beings protecting and guiding you in your soul contract from birth, or do they change depending on your circumstances?
No, your team of angels is always going to love you. It's the way you have a guide who has loved you since you were a spark of divine consciousness and knows exactly why you chose this lifetime and has, approved it with you because they know your essence. Your angel team knows your essence. And every soul, even though we are connected, we each have an individual, unique vibration, a unique purpose here, a unique role in our collective awakening. So look at all the millions and billions of people on earth. Each one has a different frequency, a gift, and a purpose they are bringing to earth. So your angel team knows exactly why you're here, what you're trying to do, and what your greatest points of pain will be. And they are so unconditionally loving and supportive, even before you know what you're about to walk through. They're coming to wrap you in love.
Thank you, Sue. I have a question here. We have a little bit more time. Lori is saying, "Hi, a friend of mine is pregnant. An ultrasound showed that the baby's girl's brain is not developing, and she will pass soon after birth. Is she a soul who doesn't want to be here?"
No, that's a beautiful angel soul who's coming in with a energetic frequency to awaken the people around that community. But that soul will also come back at another time to that same mom because the work is done in that one painful birth experience for the mom. And souls who take on the brief life of just a baby as a miscarriage, perhaps, or something like that, they are pure angel souls. They are just agreeing to come in for a very brief moment for a divine purpose that we may not be able to understand here, and because our minds can't grasp the bigness of our true nature as divine beings. But everything is on purpose. There are no mistakes, and every soul that's born has intended to come here to awaken everyone around them with love, with compassion.
Beautiful. Yes. So Linda's saying, "I have always been terribly afraid of losing one of my boys, so much so that I was even in therapy for it for years. One day I felt like I was losing my mind with fear, and I decided to try meditating to release the fear. Um, I remember distinctly a sudden wash of warmth and peace coming over me, beginning at my crown and going down my body. And I clearly heard a message in my head that no matter what happened to them, they would always be okay. I felt so peaceful and loved that I fell asleep and had one of the best sleeps of my life. Unfortunately, my fears came true
Well,
just a
let me
couple of weeks
reframe
later."
that. She was intuitively knowing what was coming. And this is hard for very sensitive, intuitive people. I believe she's an angel soul too from the angelic realm. So she intuitively sensed this great loss coming and knew that it was about her children. And this is where the human dilemma is so complicated because we can know when something's coming, and people will tell us, oh, you're living in fear, you're going to attract something bad. I get so upset about that because we don't attract a loved one's, suffering by our own fear. This universe is so much more meaningful and greater than that. She simply knew what was coming, and the world tried to talk her out of it. But once she went through it, the angels, of course, and her beautiful child were instantly at her side helping her. But she's an angel soul. You can just feel that in her.
Oh, that's beautiful. So Cynthia is saying something that's really beautiful. She says that her son had an NDE prior to his passing. He
Mm.
shared it with her and told her that he no longer feared death. So
Oh,
I think that's
good. What a
very beautiful.
gift, right? What
Yes.
a gift to him and to her that it was their sacred little moment of him saying, Mom, this is how it works. My soul, and he's, not in our conscious mind, but his soul knew his exit point was coming. And so he was able to give his mom the gift of understanding that we don't die and that leaving the body is instant love, instant joy, instant happiness, not suffering the way we experience it here. Even observing a loved one's death, we get lost in the physical details of what we believe is their suffering. And yet, when you talk to those spirits, they were out of that body long before the final breath, long before the person was declared dead, because our souls don't stay and suffer. Our souls never suffer.
Beautiful. Um, so Arena is saying she had a stillborn twin when she was born. I wonder why I survived and they didn't. Was it part of the contract Why them and not me?
Definitely part of the contract. I would bet if you do a past life soul regression, you can do them with anybody, Dr. Linda or me, and there's many other practitioners, that you would kind of learn what that soul agreement was and why it had to be fulfilled that way. But again, not a mistake. And the question is not, why wasn't it me? The question is, so what is my purpose now? So I make full use of the fact that I'm the one here and knowing that
Right, Rosie.
my twin is with me still in spirit.
Okay.
Beautiful. I don't know. We have some feedback on the line, and I don't know where that's coming from, but we have another. Well, actually, Darlene is just saying that she no longer fears death, but embraces it after her near-death experience. She doesn't want to die yet, but she's finally happy with her life, which I think is something that a lot of near-death experiencers and shared death experiencers have happened. Could you just quickly tell the difference between the two, because
Yeah.
some people might not understand what the difference is.
So there's NDEs, near death experience, there's OBEs, out of body experiences, and there's SDEs, shared death experiences. So the shared death is when someone you love crosses and they bring you into an altered state of consciousness or an altered reality where you know you're not feeling like your ordinary self and you're getting different experiences and knowledge handed to you by your departed. And those are very, very common. Even hospice workers get them, have those experiences. Nurses, even if they're not family members, they get taken on these illuminating, amazing shared death experiences. Raymond Moody coined that term right around the time he also coined the term near death experience. Now, the near death experience is when we are actually dead, when we leave the body and the heart stops. You all know Eben Alexander's story that he was on life support. They said the brain activity was dead, his heart wasn't working, and yet he was on this profound experience of traveling to the heavenly realms, and just everything about his experience was so inspiring because he even met a sister because he had been adopted. He met a sister in this near-death experience, who then was able to, when he came back into his body, he said, I met a woman who I don't know, but she loved me very much, and then found out that was his sister in his origin family. So that's a near-death experience. And then we have the out-of-body experience. And I guarantee you, many of you here have had these OBEs, out-of-body experiences. So this vision I have here, I just had a very high fever. And I traveled out, and the way I knew that I did was that my brain, it was different. I was hearing and seeing things on a whole different frequency. I was out of the world, out of the body, and yet none of it was scary. None of it had any kind of fear or negativity. It was just, hey, let's look at things differently now. But I wasn't clinically dead. I was clinically still in my body, but I absolutely could hear the angels and I could see what they were showing me. And it was extraordinary. You have those way more often than you allow yourself to believe. They can come when you're sick. They can come when you're happy. They can come when you're crying. They can come when you're hiking. Anytime you suddenly feel elevated, exalted, and lifted out of your normal reality, that is an out-of-body experience.
That's beautiful. And yes, they happen frequently. There's also the possibility of astral traveling when we're asleep, and that's something that happens to a lot of us as well. Sometimes when you're not used to it, you can't get back into your body very easily. But
Yeah.
all of these things help us to learn and grow. And I am so grateful for all of these answers, for you being here. And I want to tell people about how they can connect with you. So are you planning on doing a series of classes based on your journal? Are you going to be doing
Yeah.
something like that soon?
Yeah, so if they go to SueFrederick.com, they'll see all my classes listed. Right now, we're 4 weeks into the 7-week angelic ministry class. And that angelic ministry class, some of the names I see here, you guys are in that class. It's so amazing, not because of me, but because of what happens in that class as we get together and connect with angels and everything. It's extraordinary stuff because of the angels. And then now I'm being told by the angels I have to create a 33-day program so that everyone will be able to receive and understand they're getting angelic guidance. So I'll be posting that on my website. Also, I teach numerology because I believe numbers are one of the primary symbols that we get here from the angels, from the higher beings, to remember our purpose and remember who we are. And I'll be teaching another one of those soon. But also, my soul path calculator is on my website and it's free to use. So you can go there and click on that, input your date of birth and your child's date of birth, and you'll learn so much from that. So there's many things for you on my website, SueFrederick.com.
Thank you. Claire is saying, I love the way that you present the ideas. It is very clear and real. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sherry is saying, thank you so much for this uplifting, heart-centered talk tonight, Sue. You are greatly appreciated and loved. And I just wanted to ask you, one of the parents was saying that she would love to seek out a numerology reading. And I think that she said that you said you're no longer doing numerology
No,
readings.
that isn't true. Every one of my sessions, whether it's the 1 hour or the 90-minute or the soul regression, I still cover the numerology. It's part
Okay.
of all of my work. So if you go to SueFrederick.com, you can pick what kind of session you want. And, the 60-minute is just the numerology, soul agreements, and cycles in your life. And then the 90-minute, I also take you into the heavenly realms to be with your child or your departed or your guide. And then the 2 hour soul regression, I'm starting with the numbers and then guiding you into a past lifetime that has meaning for you today. So they all have numbers in them, numerology.
Wonderful, thank you. And I want to be able to ask everyone to unmute and say thank you as well. This has been such a wonderful evening. It's always, and I know that Irene probably enjoyed, it's her birthday this evening.
Happy
So
birthday
yes,
to
exactly.
you.
So
Thank
maybe we can
you.
all unmute and sing happy birthday to
Oh, no, no,
Irene
no.
and thank
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Sue.
yes.
Thank you, everybody. Just happy birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday
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 to
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 you.
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 Happy
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 birthday
birthday
to
birthday
to
to
you.
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 Happy
Happy
birthday, dear
birthday, dear
Irene.
Irene.
We love
Happy
you
Happy
so
birthday
much.
to
birthday
Birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Yay, thank you.
Thank
That made my
Thank
day. Thank
you.
you,
you.
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Sue. What a
you.
great way to spend my
Thank you,
birthday.
So
Elizabeth.
much.
Love you.
Appreciate it.
Love
Love you all
everyone.
so much. Thank
Love you
you.
guys. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Have a
Good
wonderful
night.
Thank you.
evening.
Thank
Thank you
you.
again,
Thank you,
Sue.
Elizabeth.
Thanks. Bye-bye.